I grew up in Northeast Kansas in a very rural community, and I attribute my father for giving me that desire to understand how things work. And I attribute my mother for giving me some of those skills to learn how things work, because she was my elementary school teacher for 4 of my first 6 years, including a couple years in a one-room country schoolhouse. I am a graduate from Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas, and I was a math major. And I was very interested in teaching in a rural environment like I grew up in, and participating in coaching women's sports and being part of the whole Title IX evolution, etc. And I was working for the head of the math department of Washburn University, and he scheduled an interview for me to meet with the Southwestern Bell Telephone recruiter. And then in the spring, they offered me a job with Southwestern Bell Telephone doing special services engineering work. I moved to wireless in 1992. My team was responsible for the implementation of our first digital technologies. There was so much growth and so many positive things that you could do in terms of building out that network and starting to have very positive experiences for customers, and just beginning to understand that freedom when you would be able to do wireless technologies. When I moved to Southwestern Bell Mobile Systems headquarters and started participating in some industry forums like CTIA, I was often the only female, particularly from a technology standpoint. I attribute both Southwestern Bell, Singular, and AT&T and that whole family of companies of encouraging that and developing across a very diverse population. Then in the 2001-2002 timeframe, by that time we had created Singular Wireless. The ability to compete from a national scope when you had so many different technologies was beginning to get rather challenging. So then we began looking at how could we drive a business case around beginning to introduce data technologies as well as high-quality voice technologies. And that led my team to begin the implementation in terms of the 3G network. You continue to move forward, adding enhancements to that, the HSDPA Plus capabilities, and then comes the initial offerings in terms of smartphone capabilities. And that eventually drove our team to look in terms of how do we introduce that next generation of technology. So the implementation of LTE that ultimately evolved to 4G in Americas. I enjoy biking and also just walking. I'm an alto in the Johnson Ferry Baptist Choir. Singing in the Johnson Ferry Choir is challenging from the standpoint that we do all of our singing on Sunday or for special events without music. So we do have words in the back of the auditorium, but you have to memorize those notes each week. I just love the experience in terms of bringing those things all together and just making something marvelous. I see wireless emerging in 2 different areas, continuing to penetrate different emerging devices in terms of where do you find that wireless connectivity. And then the other area that I think we need to solve as an industry is how you make that easy to operate between the licensed and the unlicensed technologies. How do you make Wi-Fi very secure, and that integration with those licensed technologies so that it becomes more seamless for customers to connect however, wherever, whenever they want to. I think as you look at the 35 years that I've been in telecommunications, it's just been a phenomenal growth period where it just changes the way we do everything. And I've just had the thrill of having the opportunity inside of the AT&T family of companies to lead very broad teams that drove wireless transformation and introduced many of these new technologies, and it's just been a thrilling experience.